Hey boys and girls, welcome back. It is Vortie here, and we're going to be doing a overview of the units that are coming out for Final Fantasy Type-0 Part 2. Before I start the video, originally when I was looking at them, yeah, the characters look pretty cool and stuff like that, but now that I've looked through the characters, and I think you guys are going to understand in a minute as well, this banner is probably a banner that, unless you like any of these characters, I would just pretty much avoid. And the only reason that I think anybody, including myself, are going to be pulling is because they are bonus units for the Moog event, right? For the Moogle event. That's it. I'll probably only end up doing maybe like a 111 pull, and that's it. Especially if I get at least one of the gold crystals. I believe it would be 9 or 8. As long as I get them, I think I'm pretty good. Actually, you know what? No, 8. And the girl, the Cinque or whatever her name is, they're 3-star, then a 4-star and a 5-star. So yeah, as long as I get at least 1-9, I'll probably stay happy with it, and I'll just use my daily pulls to try and get a little bit more, because at this point everything that they're bringing to the table already exists in the game, so more than likely you're probably gonna find an alternative for them elsewhere. Okay, so if you're a free-to-play player and you don't like any of these characters or whatever, just avoid them. Don't even bother. Do the daily pulls. You know, maybe you can do 1 or 2 pulls, like, just to get the bonus units. Other than that, I would avoid them. All right. So we're gonna jump right into the video here. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on these units because they're nothing special. All right. So the first guy we're gonna be looking at here is going to be Habitose. So that is human. Yeah, I guess human system, whatever. Let's see here. Yeah, so Trust Mastery is going to be the 15% hit points at MP, whatever, nothing special. His advancements are normal, his evolution is the same. Base stats for when he becomes the rarity, or max stats when he becomes the rarity. Nothing really that stands out. Low life, MP very weak, attack very weak, defense weak, everything. So intelligence is MP, very weak. Weak, everything's very weak. Resistances, he has nothing inside it. His selection of gear is absolutely horrible. He's just like any other monk out there, has very weak gear. He's very dependent on fists. If you don't have Zhao's, TM, or any of those kind of strong TMs, he's going to be very lackluster for weapon gearing. So gearing him up is going to be difficult. His limit burst, he sacrifices 20% of his hit points. He does 270% single target hit attack, physical attack 1 time. Not very good either. So his ability here, so we got the Raging Fist. We already have that existing as a TM that you can pick up if you really wanted to. It's a free TM. That's meh. He gets Swift Stance, which will randomly target 4 people, or randomly target 4 targets, and then attack at 80%. This is just like Barrage. Wildfire Stance, he buffs himself for 40% attack. You have an AoE buff that does the same amount already. Hit points very weak. He gets 10% defense. Quick Bolt Stance, single target 80% attack with 30% hit points. So this is like Lance or whatever, or Drain Attack, same thing. Attack, again 10%. He learns Focus, which is if you're missing a person that has Focus, then, you know, for buff for your casters and magic defense, then that's what you're gonna get here, 40%. Again, you can find this in other characters that are more utilizable, like support units that will also break units, rather than just being able to buff. So again, he won't fit any of those positionings with you. He gets an update in his own kit where he will get 30% attack when he's equipped with Knuckles, which technically should be the case. He should actually have a lot more in order to make him useful. I think he should be getting 50% because it's the only weapon he gets. To be completely honest, I think he should be getting 100% bonus for fists. Almost all the monks who only can wear fists should be getting an inherited boost that either gives them 50 or 100% boost in order to make them useful. Otherwise, they're not going to be useful at all. Even so, you have characters like Snow and stuff like that, who they are better when they don't wear any weapons at all. Why would you want to put a weapon on them anyways, right? Unless you have a TM or something that'll boost the attack if they wear a weapon. So, again, 30% is not enough for you to warrant to say like, yeah, I'm going to use this character. If you don't have a magic buffer, that's really the only thing here. He'll buff your magic for your casters, and he'll buff your defense with spirit to take less magic damage. Other than that, the unit himself looks really cool. I love the model for him. His fists are on fire when he is 5-star or 4-star or whatever. He looks very, very cool. Other than that, he's got nothing else going for him. Next unit here we're going to be looking at is going to be the one that everybody's butchering her name. I believe it's Italian for like number 5 or whatever. But however you say it. Anyways, her. She's same thing, human. She's got a TM that gives you attack and defense boost. 20%. It's not that bad, right? They'll give you a utility to be able to put something like that where you just get defense instead of evasion. But again, there's other TMs that exist right now in the current meta of the game that we are seeing that came before this that are easier to get. That actually do the attack plus evasion, and if you use shines you get 30% attack and evasion. So it doesn't really have a niche to fit because there's better TMs out there. However, if you end up pulling for her and you get a bunch of her and you end up feeding her into herself and you end up getting the TM, fantastic. Should you waste your valuable lapis and time farming this TM? No. There's a lot better TMs that you could be farming than this one. Gear, meh. Stats, bottom of the low, no noticeable things here. She gets another thing limited by her selection of gear. As of right now, heavy maces and flails, we don't really have anything other than the one you get from the Mog event. This is, again, character is being limited by her gear. She's got nothing going for her right now. So as of the gear, same thing. She gets the affinity magic, whatever, not very important. Her limit burst is 250% AoE one-hit physical attack, and will also do a AoE 30% attack debuff. So whatever. I mean, it's okay. Like but it's AoE and it's a one-hit, so you can't chain it, can't do anything with it, and you debuff AoE attack. I mean, like with Ling, you can do a debuff 40% to 45% with her AoE debuff. So meh. She has a magic spell of Stonra, which is 140% AoE hit. Very weak in accordance to most of the Gus spells or AoE spells where they do 180%. She has a store ability kind of like the other monk characters where she will get an 80% attack boost per use, and she'll be able to do it twice per use, 160% max, so twice, until next action damage taken plus 50%. So not very useful. If she gets attacked, she will be taking 50% extra damage. Stupid ability, not very useful for her. Brace, she will so technically you make this 30% because she will boost her defense or reduce this a little bit by boosting her defense, but again, very useless. You have to use this then that to make it. No, dumb. Hit points not very good. Like the bonus is not beneficial enough that it's going to make a difference for her. Self 1 turn 50% damage reduction. Again, you'd have to use 1 then 2, I guess. Or we'll use this, then that, but then this wears off. Whatever. There's no pattern that you can use to try and utilize this character. So all of those abilities up to here. The attack 20% is not too bad, but again, it's not going to be too noticeable. She learns 4 really interesting spells. Or sorry, 1 passive and then 3 spells. So she learns Mace Cyclone, where she does 190% AoE one-hit win physical damage, which is actually not that bad. Then she'll do a Mace Hurricane, where he does 180% AoE hit physical attack. So she can do physical and wind, which is not that bad. If you have fighting somebody who's weak against wind, this is not too shabby. Stone Killer, again, anytime you have a killer effect, that just makes her a little bit more effective. If you're fighting stone, like a golem or something that is made of stone, then you know she will do 50% extra damage, which is not bad. This ability here is not too shabby. It is 210% single target. It's a physical attack, and for 3 turns, it will debuff the character's defense for 25%. So if you're already using this move, it's not that bad. For 210% for a 3-star unit, it's a pretty nice hit. Again, the character, there's nothing useful about her. Her TM is, you could get it from another character. I wouldn't farm her TM either, just like I wouldn't farm 9's TM. It's not 9, sorry, 8's TM. Again, not worth it. There's other things you can get better. Again, if you get the character, fantastic. Would I level her and waste my cactors and resources to level this character? Probably not. I don't think there's anything this character will be doing for you that you can't get in other characters that are easier to get, like Furion. Like this character's limitation to her gear or throwing her back, even if the limitation to the gear was even better, still, there's nothing in here that'll help her. So her kit is not very good. We got 9 here. So 9 is probably the best character here based on how you can acquire him. Obviously, Queen is supposed to be the big catch here. However, I don't know what to really think about it, because we're getting a 5-star unit like Queen that actually is below a lot of other characters as far as the game goes. We'll get to her in a minute. But yeah, anyway, so 9. He gets the EXP gained by 50% egg. It's the same thing, but it's a materia or whatever, so there you go. I think it's a materia. It looks like it's a materia. I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, looks like it's a materia. If it is, then cool, then you can stack it with your other things too, which is great. Okay, yeah, same thing here for leveling them up, nothing special. Pretty good healthy pool for hit points, which is really nice. You get a lot of hit pool. MP is not that bad. Attack is mediocre. 150 is kind of not bad. Defense is okay. Intelligence and mind, or spirit is mind. Yeah, it's not that bad. Magic damage is intelligence, not very. He doesn't need it, and then his spirit is 109, so they're the same thing. He doesn't really need it. No additional bonuses to his resistances here. Again, limited by the amount of gear he's going to be getting. He does use spears. He's kind of like a dragoon, like Kane. But if you're going to be going for a dragoon, might as well use Kane. He's going to be easier to get. So he gets daggers, spears, hats, and cloths and accessories. He's got no affinity to magic, so he can only use materia that's not related to either white, black, green, or blue magic, which we don't have yet. Limit burst here, critical hit, so it's 100% critical hit, I'm assuming. 290% single target, 1-hit physical attack. It's just solid damage, which is not that bad. You can't complain about it. There's no randomness to it. He learns jump, which is kind of useless. You get rid of a character for a turn. It's good when you know that there's a big move coming along, but again, you come back, he's going to do nothing for a turn. So you lose the character for 2 turns for 180% single target damage. I don't think that's worth it. Recover hit points by walking. Oh, hit points and MP, so that's actually not that bad. Gets MP and hit points while you're walking around. Again, for exploration, it's good. Other than that, it's not very good. So he gets a passive here. So yeah, it says passive ability where he does increased jump 100%. So he's gonna end up technically doing 280% damage there when he becomes level 18. 5-star, level 18, yeah. Then he learns Slow Lancer. It's a single target. He does 180% damage. So. He gets a Roar. This is the ability that's kind of interesting. I personally kind of think this is cool. He's got a 30% chance, 3-turn stop. So he's got a 30% chance to do a 3-turn stop to a single target. Yeah, single target. It's not AoE, so this is a single target attack. And then he gets 20% attack boost. That's where he's getting his increased damage. He gets Demon Killer. Again, that's not that bad. That's pretty good to have in anybody's kit. 20% hit points increase. That's why his hit points is so high. Again, when you have a limitation with items like this, 30% attack with a lance is, to be completely honest, is not enough when you have a limitation in items. If this was 50% or even more, like 75% or even better, 100%, then this unit would be a little bit more interesting, because you can only use lances. Then you would actually not feel so bad that you don't have access to other weapons. 30% is just garbage. It's like a slap in the face. It's like, here, look, we're not gonna give this character any abilities to use any other weapons other than daggers and spears, but you know what? Here's 30% boost. Really? I preferably, I think a lot of people would be like, you know what? Take away the spear mastery and give him like 3 or 4 more other weapons that are going to be useful for this character, like a katana. And then you can put blade mastery on him, and then you actually now have 50% of it, right? Even though it wastes your material slot, at least you'll get to take some advantage of it. Spiral Lance, this is okay because it's an AoE attack. I really like the ideas of AoE attacks and more physical units having those abilities. 180%, which is pretty good. Probably got a one-shot almost everyone. Then he gets Hyper Dive, which is technically like a, what do you call it, in Final Fantasy 4 or 5, it's called Super Jump. For 3 turns, they will jump and they will disappear for 3 turns. 450% single target physical hit attack is actually not that bad, and this is a strategic ability. And the reason I want to explain the strategic ability, and we're going to spend a second here talking about it, is later on in Global, we're going to get an event for the King's Glaive. So the King's Glaive event, which is where Nyx is from, he's the guy right here. as my icon. So there's a monster you get there, which is I believe it's called the Cerebrus or Cerebrus. You get the 3-headed dog. And what ends up happening is you will fight him, and he's susceptible to poison. You can poison him, and then for 3 or 4 turns, he takes huge damage from poison. So you can actually, because he wears daggers, you can actually wear Ling's dagger, poison him, and then jump. And then you're gone for 3 turns. So for 3 turns, this monster is going to take about 200,000 a hit. He's going to take about 600,000 damage while this guy's in the air. Now here's the problem is, when he comes in, when he lands back on the ground, this character does nothing. He stands still for 1 turn. So in that turn, the monster could devastate him. Right? So if you had 4 or 5 of these guys and they all jump together and they're gone out of the map, and when they land, you get a chance to avoid some of the damage, then you can use that as a strategy to beat that event. Okay? So that's essentially what this means. Other than that, having a character gone for 3 turns to hit only for 450% damage is actually pretty, you know, it's not going to be good unless you're using it for a strategy. Because think about it. You have 480%. If you multiply that by 4, which is how many turns you're going to be gone for 4, you're going to have way more than 450%. So you can deal more damage if you just kept attacking each turn than this. So this should have been like 600 or 700%. Then it would be more viable because you have to take it into comparison to the other abilities that this character is wearing. Okay, overall, as far as global is concerned, this character is not very good as far as being a dragoon or a jumping style character. He's got some interesting abilities, but other than that, I don't think he's going to be worth your time. The 30% attack is not worth it to have a limitation on your gear. And again, really, unless you're using Star Quartz to buy the lance right now, which is the Holy Lance, or you have Gungnir from Kane TM'd out, then you have that ready for him. This character is going to hit like a bag of chips and is going to do nothing. He's going to be really weak and lackluster for his 4-star base going to 5-star. Like it's, oh sorry, he goes to 6-star, my apologies. For a 4 and 5-star going to a 6-star unit, this guy's damage is going to be way below the power creep. He's pretty much not even going to be on the radar for global right now. Like, think about it. We just got a unit, Olive, who most people can get over 1,000 damage with just minimal effort. Like having 3 or 4 TMs and you're at 1,000 damage, where I have my Noctis who's got like 5 TMs or 6 TMs and he's still lingering around that 800 something damage, almost 900. So this guy is way behind the power creep and he's not going to be able to stick around. Later on he does get some buffs, then he'll finally get this inherited buff, which is what I'm thinking he should be starting with on global, and then eventually getting to 60% and 70%. They are giving him a buff later on that you're going to have to invest money and materials into to try and get him to that 50%. Again, like my expected, he should be doing 600 right now in order for it to make sense. Later on, he will be doing that, and then it might make more sense for you. But again, you're gonna have to invest lots of gil and lots of heart. Like for example, trying to get these materials, very hard to get these 2 materials here to get this. And you're gonna be wasting this on him. No, you can use this. You can use that for Onion Knight. You can use this one here for Noctis. Like why would you waste that on this kind of unit? I think this is the one for Noctis. Was that one? Anyways, one of these guys, you can use them for other characters. They're gonna make them better. Okay, in the Japanese version as well, they had this here, Safety Guard. I'm not sure if this is in global right now or not, but we'll see this again tomorrow once it comes out. He gets AoE 3 turn, 40% defense, and AoE 200 hit points heal. So he gets like kind of what Noctis has, like AoE heal, and he does healing, and he boosts their defense, whereas Noctis does MP and health. So overall, the character is interesting enough, but for a 6-star, he's not going to be worth the materials to level up to 6-star for what he's going to be used for. I would completely avoid leveling this character up. Again, so far all of these characters should be only used for bonuses, and honestly, I'm only going to level them as much as it is that the event levels them up. And after that, if I have 4 of these guys or 3 of these guys, I'm just going to feed them all into each other. I'm just going to leave them sit there, because later on when I pull them more, I'm just going to feed them into each other to get the TM eventually in like 5 years when I ever get enough of those guys. So overall, this unit's ranking as well is probably not going to be worth your time. He is lackluster. His bonuses that are being given to us this late of when this banner is coming around, it's just not enough. He's way too far behind the power creep. Alright, so so this is the big kahuna. This is Queen. And to be completely honest, her TM is not that bad, alright? Her TM is not that bad. It's you could say it's better than the TMs we currently have. However, she is a 5-star base. So by saying that, this TM is garbage. Okay? I know that you guys are probably thinking like, what do you mean? Wait a minute, it's a good TM. You just said that. You have to understand, anytime you get a 5-star base, the chances of getting a 5-star base right now is 1%. You guys all know that. It's the chance of getting a rainbow crystal is 1%. If you pull her or you get a rainbow crystal during her banner, you have a 5% chance of pulling her, and then the rest of the chances you got a chance to pull all the other 5-star bases. Okay? So the chance to get her overall is just 1%. So you're gonna sit there and you're gonna waste your time and material trying to farm out this one TM if you do get her. And it's not too far ahead of the other TMs that exist there right now. For 20% hit points, you can also just get the 30% shine one. You're gonna get a lot more shines. You can have multiple shines, right? So overall, the overall effort you're gonna need to produce to try and get her TM is not really worth it. So for me, her TM gets ranked way below all the other TMs because it's very difficult to access. If you are a whale or you get lucky and you pull 4 queens, then yeah, go for it. Go farm her TMs out, because then you're gonna have that amazing 120% increased attack if all your material slots are open, and then you're gonna have 40% hit points increase, which is actually not that bad. But in difficulty, I don't think it's really worth what it is. I think that 5-star base units should be holding very powerful TMs, and to me 30% damage is very powerful and 20% is powerful. However, being together like this and the difficulty for them getting them it doesn't rank that level of powerfulness the way I picture it. So I know some of you out there could be like, well, you know what, for me it is. That's fine. It's just my opinion. And I'm just giving you what I think about it and how I would, if I got her, I'm not going to farm her TM. I'm going to tell you right off the bat right now. I have so many other TMs I want to farm that are going to benefit me more, and because I have characters like Shine, I'm gonna get more shines. I will have more chance of getting more shines and feeding shines into shines, which means I can achieve that 30% attack way faster, and then I'll just stick around with evasion, right? So overall, the TM is, to me, it's meh. You guys might feel a little bit different. I just think I can get the 30% attack elsewhere, and the 20% hit points right now, it doesn't make a difference. It's better just to negate the damage. Anyways, so that's my little spew about her. As you can tell, I'm probably a little bit sour about how her character is, but you'll see why. You guys are gonna be sour too. The character sucks. Alright, so you got 5-star. Yeah, she gets material again. Wouldn't be worth leveling it up. So her hit points is very healthy hit points for being a melee character. Her MP is very healthy. Her attack is in the middle section of what I think should be for like a 6-star unit. She should be a little bit higher, being like a physical based unit. And you'll understand why I think they should be higher. Then defense is okay, and mind is okay. No inherited buffs or status elements that are buffer. So here's why. Attack 144. Look at the limitation to her gears. Dagger, swords, great swords. She's got hat and cloth chest accessory. That's it. She's got an affinity to white magic 6 and 7, black magic level 5 and 6 as she goes to her respectful stars. So like overall, this character is very lackluster. Like look at this. AoE 180% attack with 100% hit point drain. Like it's 100% to herself. The damage is weak. She gets all her life back. That's fantastic. So you know you can heal her to her life. But if she's gonna have squish defense, and she's not gonna be worth keeping up alive because she's gonna do peanuts for damage, I don't really understand why you would even want to keep her alive. But anyways, 5-star unit. She learns Tandera and Tandaga and then Kiraja. This is actually not that bad. Having Kiraja on DPS is kind of cool, just like it is having it on Cecil. It's like, if you need the heal, you can use her to heal, right? She can help your team out. So that's not that bad. At least she's kind of like supporting you there. So right off the bat, she knows a move called Dash Attack. Single target 180% hit. If you got good weapons, this is going to be a pretty good attack for having right away. She learns Rakasha, which is a 3-turn 200% attack after hit point drops below 3%. So think about that. This unit has to almost die in order for her to get this crazy buff. So very rarely have I ever been hit where I only have like 3% life. It's either I got totally slapped silly and died, or whatever. The only way I can see this being beneficial is if, let's say, you have a 1% raise, or your somebody can raise your character and they only have like, 2 or 3 life or whatever, they're below the 3%, then while she is at that, she will get this 200% buff. She'll continue to have the buff even after she gets healed because it's for 3 turns. You dip to 3%, you get 3 turn buff, she will do 200% extra attack. So if she dies and you res her, then she could technically have this. So there's a potential for that. So I don't really know how well you can abuse that, but that's really what I see as a potential for here. So these are some pretty decent buffs. 20% to defense, spirit, and magic. It's not that bad. She also learns a move called Energy Share, where she will do 10% MP heal. It's a modifier of 0.3, and it will be split over 3 turns, and it's a self 500 damage attack. So she slaps herself silly. She takes 500 damage. She gives you a multiplier of 0.3 across MP on all of your characters for 3 turns, and then you will get healed for this MP. So it's like Noctis's cover ability, but she damages herself. She hurts herself. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. She heals hit points, and yeah, this is a way better translation. She heals hit points and MP, and then she will hurt herself in return for those 3 turns. So yeah. Anyway, so it comes here, 200% single target. She will hit 3 times. It'll hit magic attack. So a 3-hit magic attack, which is pretty interesting. Got some potential there. 200% is not that bad. Some more buffs, hit points and attack 20%. She will also have triple avoid, which is kind of what we've had in all the other Type 0 characters, where she will pop these things with it's like Mirage Vest. She gets to avoid attacks. She gets to avoid up to 3 attacks for up to 2 turns. If she doesn't avoid all of them, it fades or whatever it is. Anyways, it's the same ability we already have. She learns recover 5% MP per turn, which is what we expect of almost all of our 5-star bases, that is. She learns a move called Devastate, which is 5 times 90% random target physical attack. So this is actually the Japanese version. In the English version or global version, it is 5 times damage to a single target, so it's no longer a random target, because this Devastate, it does 1 more attack than Barrage. It's just like Barrage, and it does 10% more. But on global version, it'll pick 1 target, it'll attack that 1 target 5 times, unless that is a typo and it'll be changed. But this is what it is for the Japanese version. So overall, how it is in global as we're getting her right now, she is very lackluster. I don't see any crazy potential for her because of her limitation of gear. Granted, right now we do have some good great swords like Excalibur and like Deathblade or whatever it is, Deathbringer. We got some pretty decent swords, so it's not that bad. She doesn't have heavy armor, so you can't get the boost from Leon's TM for wearing the swords or whatever. You can't do that. You have to wear another material slot. You're gonna have to wear Furian's TM in order to get that bonus, which is just a waste of a slot. Might as well just put on Shine's TM or her Nine's TM on her if you really wanted to, or even her own TM. Not Nine's TM, her TM. If you really wanted to, you can put it on her instead. You'll get a bigger benefit. But again, I don't think it's worth farming, personally. Yeah, later on, when we do get the enhancements, she does get some interesting buffs. Her Rakasha ends up getting a boost. We're never going to look at this other one. We're going to look at the second tier here. She'll get a 300% boost attack after her hit point drops to 6%, and 3-turn 200% defense after hit point drops below 6%, and 3-turn 200% spirit after 3 turns. I don't know why they translated like this. So she will get a 300% buff, a 200% buff, and a 200% buff when she drops below 60% for the respectful categories. She'll get an attack buff by 300%, defense buff by 200%. She'll get a spirit buff by 200%. So her defense goes up, her resistance to magic goes up, and her damage goes up if she gets the 6%, which is not that bad. So Devastate right now only is doing 90%. Her first set, she'll jump up to 110%, then she'll get it to 140%. I have a feeling that this is actually going to be a lot different on global, because it's still random. Well, sorry, it's random target right now, but here it says it's single target. So I have a feeling that we're gonna get the single target 110%, and then when we get it to the second stage, they might actually switch it on us and make it random target. So you actually might not want to pick this. All right. So we'll have to see how they do that on global, but as of right now, it has me thinking, I'm like, why would they do that? Because they gave us the stronger version of it right away. Does that mean later on, as we get the enchantments, are they gonna switch? So maybe they'll boosted up to like 160% or 200%, but it's going to be a 5 attack and it's just going to attack random targets, which makes it less viable. Her energy share ability ends up just getting a boost of damage, which is great, and she will do self 95% target hit points, so she takes more damage. It's stupid. Anyways, those ones are dumb, but this is pretty cool. Devastate's not that bad. Alright. Overall, as far as the hero goes, or the class queen, as far as she goes, her TM is, for me, again, this is my opinion, is meh. Is not worth farming even if you get her, because there's way better TMs out there that you can get that are going to be more beneficial for you, like weapons and things like blade mastery, things like dual wield, things like dual cast and stuff like that. The 30% attack materia can be replaced with other easier god materials. Now if you have those already, then go for it. Pick this one up. It's no big deal. I'm not saying don't, just saying it's not worth it. Like, I wouldn't prioritize it if I was trying to advance quickly, right? So the character herself, her kit is not very useful right now. She doesn't get any crazy buffs towards her limited gear set, so you're gonna have to rely on using materias and TMs to try and boost her damage overall. Again, same idea as 9. The power creep is just so far ahead that I don't see Queen holding on to her spot very long in global. I'm feeling that the next banner that's coming out is going to be the Final Fantasy Tactics banner, which is going to be Orlando, and once he comes out, you guys aren't even going to remember who Queen is. So in the end, that's what I'm saying, is like, I probably wouldn't waste your money on it. Just like myself, I would say maybe do 111 pull or do the daily pulls to get the bonus units. Other than that, don't even bother. If the previous Final Fantasy Tactics units or Type 2 unit or Type 0 units are bonus units as well, which we're going to see tomorrow when we wake up. If they are, I probably won't even pull on this banner. I don't know. Just because why? Like, there's no point. It's just going to waste slots. That's 4 characters I'm going to just waste slots with, because none of them are useful in any part of the game right now. They don't hold any attraction to them. So that's just my opinion. I hope my opinion helps you guys kind of decide whether you should pull or not. As you guys know, I always pull on my channel, but this is the first time where I feel kind of reluctant to throw down like 5,000 lapis on a banner that not even the materia slots or the TMs are worth the effort. So that's kind of how I feel. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. This was a little bit more of a blunt review than I've done before. I normally am very enthusiastic about the characters because I do enjoy them. I do, like I said, I do like the way the characters look. 8 looks amazing with his fists on fire. 9 is a beast with that spear over his shoulder. Even Queen looks pretty cool, but like, she looks almost like 7 with just longer hair, and looks like she's got a scouter on her face or something. And that funny chick that we can't pronounce her name with, it's just like, I don't know, again, she looks like a schoolgirl. She looks okay, but like definitely 8 and 9 look like cool units for sure. Other than that, I don't have any enthusiasm other than just looking at those characters or having one of them just to look at, so to like collect. But these guys are not exclusive to this banner, so therefore you could pull these guys later, or when you're pulling you might just end up getting them just because they're going to be in the pool as of tomorrow. So if you want the units like I do, you can definitely skip this banner and you will miss nothing. Alright, anyways, I'm going to keep just ripping this banner apart. If you guys liked the video and you appreciated my honesty about this, I hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, why not hit the subscribe button? Trust me, I won't hurt you. I get pretty serious sometimes too. I do give you serious advice like I am right now, telling you not to waste your money. So subscribe and stick around for future content, alright? This is Vortie, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be tomorrow when the event comes out. So see you guys later. I'm out of here. Peace!
I said it.